Can you hear me, Steve?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I got Jack Nungy. We'll start with him.
All right. All right, Jack, thanks for joining us today. Congratulations. We'll get right to questions for Jack Nungy. Go ahead, David Eichholt.
Yeah, Jack, it seems like today for you and as well as the team, it was one of the more complete games this season. Would you agree with that, and why?
Yeah, I'd really say this week in practice, everybody was locked in. We knew the task that we had at hand. We knew it was going to be a tough game, and today we really came out and showed that we were ready to play.
Questions? Go ahead, Tom Kakert.
Hey, Steve, can we get ability to record too?
Yep.
And Jack, what was kind of the key to you guys getting off to that quick start today offensively? You guys seemed really locked in on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, so we had just played them. We knew the scouting report really well. We knew what they were going to try to do against us. And, throughout the last two practices preparing for them, we knew what we needed to do to end up winning. And, we really played well today as a team.
Mike Kloss, go ahead.
Jack, if I have my numbers right, it looks like you had either tied or set career highs in points, rebounds, and assists. Was this your best game ever?
Yeah, I think I played well today. I think my team did a great job of getting me the ball in spots to score. And, I was finding them. And they were knocking down the shots when I passed it to them. It was huge. It was a big team win for us. Everybody across the board played well. And I think that's something that we can use going forward as momentum.
Mark Emmert.
Yeah, Jack, I wanted to ask about the defensive performance. Obviously, you guys had them really frustrated, it looked like at times. What was your game plan there? What'd you have to get done?
Yeah, so last time we played them, they had 20 offensive rebounds and made 12 threes. And so we knew if we wanted to win today that we couldn't let that happen again. And so that was a really big focus for us going forward. We just played them, so we knew the scouting report. Like I said, from top to bottom, we knew what we needed to do, and everybody came out and executed.
Tom Kakert.
Yeah, can you kind of dive into the level of play that Joe Wieskamp's at right now? The last couple of games, he just seems like he's taken his game to another level.
Yeah, he's playing phenomenal. It seems like every time he shoots it, you think it's going in, and a lot of times it has been. He's been on fire for 3 of the last couple of games, and that opens up the floor for everybody. If he's able to knock those shots down, he can drive and kick and find open guys. And every day at practice, you see it, and he's a phenomenal player. He's got a great mindset.
Mike Kloss.
Yeah, Jack, I mean, Luka has 8 points. And if you didn't know before the game and said Luka had 8 points, you'd say, rough night. It was anything but. How does that correlate in your mind?
Yeah, every game Lucas says he just wants to win. So I'm sure he's happy to win. I'm sure he wishes he had done a little bit better, but he's still awesome for us. He drew guys, he passed it when he needed to. He found the open guys on the floor. We knew Michigan State was going to play really physical with him, and as a team, we were able to combat that by everybody else playing well. So there's nothing for him to hang his head about. He's our guy. We're going to go to him. He's going to score 20 plus a game for us, and he's a beast.
Yeah, I didn't want to imply that he didn't have a good game, but it just seemed like everybody had a good game.
Yeah, I'd say that, like I said, from top to bottom, everybody was ready to play. Everybody knew the battle that we had ahead, and everybody executed.
David Eichholt.
Yeah, Jack, you talked about how locked in you guys have been this week. Did you and the guys just sort of treat it like a kind of a gut check week, like you knew you had to come in and get the business done?
Yeah, losing 4 out of 5, everybody starts thinking, but it was close games. We were right there in most of those games. It's just little play here, little play there, giving up an offensive rebound there. And so we knew if we could just limit those little mistakes, we could come back out on top.
Any other questions for Jack? All right, thanks, Jack, for your time today. Safe
Thank you.
travels home.
Got coach here, Steve.
All righty.
Let's get up a smidge.
Coach, can you hear me okay?
Gotcha.
All right, congratulations. We'll go right to questions. Go ahead, Mark Emmert.
Fran, how important was the three-point shooting from Keegan and Connor in that first half when they were trying to play so tight on Luka?
It's really important, Mark, especially because of what you just said, how it impacts Luka, but it also impacts Wieskamp and Bohannon and anybody else that comes in. And so Jack comes in and he gets into the act with the three-point shot. We got great play off the bench today. And when you're making threes and you're getting stops, it opens driving lanes, it opens post feeds, it opens opportunities to get to the free throw line. So, it just changes everything. And you're right. Getting Connor and Keegan in particular going early, I think it really changed how our team performed offensively throughout the game.
Mike Halas.
Fran, it was not much longer than a week ago when your team was getting criticized for its defense. And I was in that chorus, I admit, but you've held 3 straight teams under 40%. What is working?
I think, Mike, and I said this as much, I think the last time we talked, I thought we stayed with the zone too long. I mean, I'm always going to mix defenses. We're always going to play some zone. We're always going to press a little bit. But I was staying too long with that. We've always been primarily a man-to-man team. And so I challenged the guys to compete and defend man-to-man. Be connected on ball screens, be over toward the ball, stay in your stance, be able to do a one-way closeout. And then in addition, couple that with scouting report information. You're playing Michigan State, okay, it starts with Henry and Langford, okay, but they got a lot of other weapons. But I thought to a man defensively today, we really competed. We didn't give them as many opportunities in transition, and that starts with your offensive execution and productivity. But the demand's been a lot better, and I'm obviously hopeful that will continue.
Go back to Mark Emmert.
Yeah, Fran, nobody comes into this building and wins by 30 points ever. I guess when you look at the scoreboard, what do you attribute that to? How did you guys pull this off today?
Well, it's a combination of things. Okay, it starts with tough, intense man-to-man defense. Then it goes to execution on offense, so that if we at least get a good shot, and if we don't make it, we get our defense back. We don't give them transition baskets. We don't give them second shot opportunities. We almost lost to them at our place because we gave them 20 offensive rebounds. They missed 40 shots today and only got 11 of them back. And typically they're a team that is going to not only get a bunch back, but then out rebound. So our defense, our rebounding, and our offensive execution, but then it's, like I said a minute ago, the productivity off the bench. But everybody that came in really contributed.
We'll go to Larry from the Associated Press. Go ahead, Larry.
And to have this kind of win with Luka scoring 8 points, what does that do for your team in terms of confidence that, even if the team takes Luka away, that you guys can win and win big?
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I mean, it just completely changes your confidence to know that Jack can get a double-double and Keegan can play well even though he's in foul trouble, and then Connor can take some of the pressure off Bohannon and Wieskamp. Patrick was terrific. I thought Tony was really tough. Tony, Toussaint, and Aaron Eulis. What's really impressive to me was how happy Luka was in the locker room for his teammates, for our victory. And that just says all you need to know about our leader.
Go back to Mark. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, Fran, I wonder if you could expand a little bit on Jack Nunge's game today. He not only led you guys in rebounds, but also assists, which I'm not sure we all saw it coming. What did you see out of him today that you haven't seen before in a game?
Yeah, Jack, Mark, is doing what Jack does. I mean, that's what he's capable of doing. And just to watch him have the confidence and the mental toughness to do what he did today. I mean, you look down at the stats, 18, 11, and 6. I mean, what a performance. He got buckets when we needed them. He finished through contact. He contested around the rim. Didn't give them second shots, which I said earlier was a big focal point of our game plan. And it's just so awesome to have him with Luka, or if I need to take Luka out, when he got his third, have Jack in there.
Scott Docterman.
Fran, you've talked about guys maintaining kind of a professional attitude to not get too high, too low throughout the season, whether you're winning big, losing a couple of games. Is that the kind of mental approach you still took this last week? And how did they approach it each and every day to be able to put themselves in this position?
We have a veteran club, and as a result, they pretty much know how we're going to do things. So they weren't surprised. Obviously, we discuss it. We watch film. We go over the game plan. You know, we didn't really do a lot on the court live after the Rutgers game. Hard fought, intense game, great win over Rutgers. Early start on a Saturday, travel day yesterday, COVID test early this morning. So, I mean, I wasn't going to run them too much these last 2 days, but it was a mental preparation situation. But these guys know, you know, we're not going to ever panic after a loss. We're not going to get overly excited after a win. We're going to continue to teach, continue to work, be smart with how hard we push them, so that as you get to the middle of February, you have fresh legs. And they responded in a big way.
Mike Halas?
The three teams that tied for the Big Ten title last year all had spells in the conference where they either lost 3 of 4 or 4 of 5. Do you think that people understand how normal a thing that is?
I think most people do, Mike. I think a lot of people get it. Some are just emotional. You know, I did a radio show the other day and we kind of got into that. And I'm like, well, we continually talk about how tough this league is top to bottom, and how every team has veteran players. Every team has great scores. Every team has a terrific coach. So we sort of brag about how great our league is. And then people are surprised when a team loses. Well, somebody's going to lose. You know, the question is, what do you do then? You know, you don't start finger pointing. You don't start blaming. You just grind. And if you get on a winning streak, if you're fortunate enough to do that, you better not get too full of yourself, because somebody's sitting right there in the next one. So, you know, I think all of us hope that this kind of grind will benefit our teams in the NCAA tournament.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Thanks, everyone. We'll bring in Joe Wieskamp next. All right, Joe, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, we'll go right to Mark Emmert for our first question for Joe Wieskamp.
Yeah, Joe, you've been on the other side of some pretty lopsided games in this building. I guess how good did it feel to come in here and hang a 30-point win on Michigan State in their home house?
Yeah, definitely. It's something that's tough to do. They're a really good team, especially at home. I know I've come in here twice and lost both times. So to come in here and win like that in that fashion feels really good for us.
How did you
David,
pull it off?
Go ahead, Mark. Sorry,
Joe, what was the key? How did you do that? How do you guys as a team do that today?
I think just the way that we've been defending lately has been a lot better. Obviously, that's been something that we've really, you know, worked on since our losing 4 out of 5. So we've really picked up the pressure in that regard. And I think the way that we're defending right now is at a really good level. And I think we can even do a better job. But when we're getting stops, we know our offense is going to come. So we just got to keep doing that.
David Eicholt.
Yeah, Joe, Fran just said that at times this season, he feels like you guys have stuck with the zone too long. He kind of challenged you guys to take on the challenge of man-to-man defense more. How have you guys been able to just up the defensive intensity in man, and what's been kind of the key to that?
Yeah, definitely. I think I would agree with that. There's definitely been points when I think that we've sat in the 2-3 a little bit too long and allowed teams to kind of adjust and pick us apart. So I think we've done a really good job of mixing up our man and zone. I mean, obviously we're not the most athletic group, but we're trying to do our best and, defend athletic guards. And each team in this league has a lot of athletic guys. So if we can continue to just, defend and, help defense and all those things and just focus on our principles, I think we'll be just fine.
Tyler.
Joe, how big was Connor's shooting performance in just for the team, but also to kind of open things up for you?
Yeah, Connor was terrific tonight. The way he shot the ball, Obviously, he's a terrific passer. You guys all know that. But when teams are sagging off of him a little bit to help on Luka, and he's able to knock down those shots, it just opens up a lot more stuff for our offense. So, yeah, he was great today.
Mark Emmert.
Yeah, Joe, at the beginning of the second half, there's a little bit of a lull there by you guys. They cut it to 15, and then you came back and just drilled 2 3-pointers. I mean, what was going through your mind at that time, how big were those shots ultimately for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the game. We knew that they were going to come out at halftime and try to make a run. So we just had to limit that and then go on and make a run of our own. I think we were up 19 at halftime, so to finish with a 30-point win is pretty impressive for us, and shows that we were able to defend for not only just spurts, but for throughout the whole game.
David Eichholt.
Yeah, Joe, how happy are you to see Jack Nungy? Really feels like he's starting to hit his stride. And have you seen that sort of passing display from him in practice or in open gyms? Because he led the team in assists tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he was absolutely terrific tonight. The way he was shooting the ball, post ups, he has a great touch around the rim. The way he's been rebounding, and now he's showing off that he can pass as well. He just had a terrific game, a complete game, and a game when Luka was struggling a little bit to score in the low post, and he really brought a big presence for us down there and got quite a few key baskets and was finding guys at the right time to hit shots.
Rob Howell.
Joe, CJ
Bob, you had,
couldn't go today. Lucas scores 8, and you guys win by 30 at Michigan State. What's that say about this team?
I mean, it just shows how complete of a team that we have. Obviously, Luka's drawn a lot of the national attention, but we have a lot of guys that can get the job done, especially in a day like today when he was struggling. Guys just stepped up and hit big shots and made big play after big play. And I think one of the keys for us was limiting them to one shot. They didn't get as many offensive rebounds as they did against us at home. So that was key for us, and just continue to get stops and lead to runouts.
any other questions for Joe? Go ahead, David.
Yeah, Joe, we asked about the team performance and how good it felt for you to come in here and get the win, but how good it feel for you personally? I know that you've had your struggles against Michigan State. I think you've attributed they were kind of your introduction to the physicality of the Big Ten. Just how good it feel for you to go out there and show what you can do?
Yeah, definitely. Michigan State's always been a tough team for me to play against. I feel like they've done a really good job of scouting me, and obviously they have a lot of athletic guards with Aaron Henry, one of the best defenders in the Big Ten. So I think I've just learned a lot throughout the years on ways in which I can attack them differently and just continue to stay aggressive and playing through that physicality. I know my first Big Ten game was on the road here at Michigan State. So to come in here and win in this fashion is pretty special.
All right. Anything else for Joe? All right. Thanks, Joe. Congratulations again. And thanks everyone for joining us today.
Thank you, guys.